biggest national center for excellence in Bulgaria. Now this is a National Center of Excellence in Mechatronics and Clean Technologies.
Okay.
We are 17 partners, but here is the campus of the Technical University of Sofia, and 16 laboratories are here in the field of mechatronics and clean technologies, where we have prepared some laboratories to show you, and maybe during the show we will discuss, and after that we will make some discussions.
Okay.
So welcome, please.
Thank you very much.
Okay.
This is a laboratory for atomic force microscopy. Okay. Here inside we have a very sensitive lamp. It is probably, let's say, 5 functions of resolution of the microscope. So we can not only just take the topography, but we can change and take the material properties which are below the structure. Exactly.
And you do it mainly for the research purposes, or also with external partners as part of their, let's say, development?
This is, we do both actually. So we have good cooperation for research with other universities in Bulgaria actually, and also we have partners industrial. For example, this is produced here in Sophia, in Alexis.
Okay.
It is for their, the wafer is from there, the sensor design is from there. Where the companies which are making such equipment probably in the world are 6 or 7, something like that. And in Europe probably this is the top level.
Okay.
This equipment allows to test in standard capsule different anodes and cathode material and electrolyzers, electrolyte between to select the best combination. There is a lot of research work in the world wide nowadays in the field, and we want to go very fast to the final product.
You show some of the laboratories like this are devoted only on this to help companies.
The specific need.
Yeah, the specific needs, and maybe we'll see some other and use.
Okay.
Let's go in other labs.
Well, thank you.
We are working together with the Karlsruhe Institute of Technology, KIT, in the European project. There is the lithium-ion batteries for test in comparison to the, this is the examples, just test equipment.
KIT is the shareholder of Inno Energy. So we have
I know, yeah.
joint
we
family.
are working together in the project called Helios for lithium-ion battery based on the model approach for different vehicles to be very fast developed and very fast implement based on the models. We are working in this project.
We're absolutely convinced that energy storage will be a massive development in Europe, because it has to be to allow for transition from fossil fuels to renewables.
Green energy needs storage.
And at the moment, most of the gigafactories that we speak of, first of all, some of them are still delayed, and most of the production will go for automotive. So it will leave basically a shortfall of batteries to allow transformation. So
and we have a new generation of lead-acid batteries. This is to set for test with a little bit different chemistry inside.
You know, this is a transition that we're going through. So it's like electric cars. One day electric cars will replace internal combustion, but that day is not tomorrow yet. And there'll be a phase where two of those worlds will live together. So
for sure. For sure, step by step. Please. This is one of the technologies for the batteries today, for electrodes, to decrease the degradation of electrodes, and for PEM electrolyzers.
Okay.
This is one of the critical technologies.
Okay.
And we develop, our team here in our university, develop all this equipment for zero.
Okay.
We discovered that just 3 companies supplying such equipment, no Chinese companies in the list. They are working hard, they will, but nowadays not. And we have not enough budget, that's why we start to create ourselves this. And 3 years we spent to develop the equipment, and nowadays we have 3 results in 3 in 1.
Okay.
Our engineers are in capability to develop such a complicated equipment. Second one is that
They understand the process.
that is very control. We can to manage everything in the process. That is very important, because if we bought from the market, such
It's a
as
black box.
just right. And third one is that our researcher now have a real open source instrument that they can provide any type of simulations in the process. Even we are more oriented all this research equipment and our plans to the fast implementation. And microelectronic, you will see next labs.
We have here possibilities to design their applications and also more limited to test real-world scenarios. And here is the other option for these new materials is biological and organic materials. And here we have a project which is currently ongoing with 2 of our PhD students to develop, to put a topology from organic material. Here the main material is protein, and there it's very interesting that the current is composed not of electrons but positrons, right? Positive charges, in fact. But okay, so this is kind of unique equipment.
Well, they are dedicated to for several tasks, to perform some research here in the lab, to make some partnership with some companies in Bulgaria, Melexis, Centillion, etc., and for education of students.
And cooperation with externals, for them it's about prototypes, or it's about also improving what they have today?
Well, both of them. So we could, we already have some questions about prototyping of companies here in Bulgaria.
If you let me add here something, in fact, we have started this year a research project for 3.5 years. It's funded with our local resilience fund for developing research groups. And in our group, which is related to semiconductor device modeling and design, we also will develop and test battery management systems. So they are usually implemented in chips. So this relates to, let's say, the battery topic. So here we can, because battery management systems is very important, as you know. So here all the equipment could be used to, let's say, start from the design. Usually the chip manufacturing is done outside. It's this is how the business works. And afterwards we may get the chip. Here we can do the bonding, some packaging, and afterwards the testing. So battery management system design and testing could be also part of our activities, despite that is microelectronics related. So just to have this in mind.
About drones, we are planning in near future to install this helicopter model to have measurements. We can measure the forces acting on the model, or in this case, force created by the propeller. But also we have equipment for visualization.
Okay.
And this is unique because such a system we cannot buy from market.
So you have to sell that yourself.
We designed the system by our engineers, our researchers from different commercial components, but the composition and especially software is unique. This is real Industry 4.0. That additive manufacturing is one of the critical points. And we have 2 patents, and 2 systems was already sold to the business.
Okay, for their use at
for the
commercial use.
Based on the patents of this composition, all components coming from market, but are composite in Bulgarian company.
Okay.
According to knowledge of our researchers. It's helped us to prototype new solutions for the business. Minus 80 plus 180. This is even for airspace industries capable for UV protection. Different. Now we are in the process of certification to have an official certificate. And this lab, this is just the visible side of the iceberg. Invisible is the development in virtual format.
And very special is here. He has 3 meters in ground, elastic founded, and 1 hertz is the frequency, so it allows vibration testing. So we have a lot of such equipment. It's only for show, but for batteries even more. We are in the process of producing and buying 2 different types of measurement equipments for impact tests. We will be able at the end of the year here to test batteries, and this floor elastic suspended is for this set. So this is one also of the laboratories. It's very expensive, a few million euro only the laboratory, and a few million euro the equipment, and this allows the companies, if they need to use this laboratory for vibration test, for acoustic testing, and this is only for the industrial purposes and research and equipment. It's a battery 28 microphone set, and it allows us different frequencies, audio frequencies to test the materials. So it's another one big equipment for the industry.
Medical equipment for different applications. One of them is for developing of external defibrillators, public defibrillators. A few years ago we have a project with one biggest firm in Switzerland, and according to this project we develop a part of this defibrillator. It is very important to install in places where there are a big number, a lot of people, for example, as airports, universities, etc. And the main task of this device is to prevent life-threatening conditions, for example, as sudden cardiac arrest. And now we continue work on this thematics. Other direction of our activities is connected with the system for supporting system for elderly and disabled people. For example, you can see here one kind of different type of sensors. This is capacitive sensors. This sheets placed under the cover on the mattress. And when the people and person lie on them, it's possible to register different vital parameters. For example, as heart activity, breathing.
Traditional way of just simply going to doctor, where not always possible, not always needed.
Of course, the direction is to develop ultra-portable devices that are wearable devices that are in the body and give information.
Predictive rather than reactive.
React on time when it's necessary.
Absolutely.
To do this. Have young colleagues that in the future they will take place actively and work actively here in the laboratory.
Will work.
Maybe, meanwhile, I'll give you some information about the university and the main projects we are working on to be useful for our future contribution and projects. Technical University of Sofia is the biggest technical university not only in Bulgaria but in the region. Nowadays we have more than 11,500 students, about 700 academic staff, a little bit more than 300 PhD students, and we have spread infrastructure. The main campus is here in Sofia, but also in Plovdiv, second city in Bulgaria, and in Sliven. We have branches, and also we are unique university in Bulgaria. We have 2 secondary schools in our structure. It's very useful for us because our assistants and senior assistants, they are teachers at these schools, and they give to the young people information if they want to come here to make their studies in a technical level. They have information about the last technologies in all the fields. We have 14 faculties, but of course we have mechanical engineering, electrical engineering, computer science, informatics, etc. Nowadays we have established new, we call them innovative programs, but they are developed with the industry requirements. For example, this is cybersecurity, big data analytics, intelligent system and artificial intelligence, and the studies are in Bulgarian and in English. Also, we have more than 30 years, 2 years, we have 3 so-called foreign language faculties. We have French, German, and English language faculty, and English language faculty is established 32 years ago with Nottingham University, but more interesting is our French faculty. We are the second, only 2 universities outside of France are they have such accreditation for electrical engineering education. It is only master degree, 5 years, and the students get double diploma. The same is situation in the German faculty. We have a lot of specialties in German language, initially with the Karlsruhe Institute of Technology, Formessen, nowadays we have and Magdeburg, Otto von Guericke, etc., etc., etc. A lot of universities, a lot of specialties, computer science, mechanical engineering, economics, etc. And we are a real university because we have engineering pedagogy in Sliven, and also we have faculty of economics here, but it is not counting and some financial things. It is economic management, industrial management specialties, and this is very, very useful for us. We have common integration of the techniques and economical studies here. And 3 more points. Nowadays we are in the process of renovating our type of education, starting, for example, the new specialties. First and second year there are common subjects, industrial, computer sciences, electrotechnics, etc. And third and fourth year it is special subjects, mostly governed by the industry. For example, we have contracts with the leading companies in the world, for example, Bosch, Siemens, etc., and they are involved fully in making the educational plans, and also they are teachers last years of our students. This is the new generation of the specialties, and the young people are attracted, are motivated, and high level. I told you, when the education is in Bulgarian, we have a level of English to start in Bulgarian, and also we have in English education. Second point is we are a member of AUT. It's European University of Technology. You know these networks of universities by the European Commission. You can see here Dublin, Riga, Darmstadt, Troyes, France, Cluj-Napoca, we and Cartagena in Spain, and Cyprus, 8 partners. We make university of the future, European University of the future. Nowadays we are alliance, we are going to be confederative university and maybe one university after 2030. And nowadays we are in the process of establishing common plans, common projects. Even more, we are responsible for student's card, one student's card, not only giving the information for the student status, but to open the labs, the dormitories, to travel by this card, to pay by this card as a European student, and it's a very complicated, such a comprehensive product. And we are very well known with our research and applicable structure. I told you 1/3 of our budget comes from the research and development, and this is very good for us because this is we are well known in our industry, and this helps us to have such projects, to build such centers of excellence, centers of competence. Here is the director of the Technical University of Gabriel, our partner. We work together on a lot of projects, and we do believe that this will reflect in a very good future for the Europe and for the people, for the society. We do believe this, and we do it by our hearts to prepare the young people to be high-level specialists. So thank you a lot for your coming here. You are always welcome here, and if you need more information or more visits, you are welcome. We'll help with everything we can. Here, maybe some of the projects related to the energy storage, Professor Тодorov and some other colleagues, we are on the base of the new vision of the Bulgarian strategy of energetics up to 2052, and maybe this is one of the first projects held here, going on. It's still going on. But we have a lot of ideas and a lot of discussions with the Bulgarian producers. You can hear some of them later if you want. And we do believe that this is only the beginning for the United Europe and winning Europe.
So, thank you very much for having us. We are absolutely impressed with what you're doing. Maybe in few words I will explain who Inno Energy is. So we are looking at the technical universities. We are a baby that was born 12 years ago as a baby of industrial companies, European industrial companies, and technical schools, technical universities. For many years we were supported with EAT funding, and the idea was that Europe invests money into clean tech, which 10-12 years ago was absolutely rocket science. or maybe not organized, a dream, something very in the corners of the interest. The idea was that with the bridge between industry, education, and with capital that is needed, we can start creating technology companies in Europe, let them grow, exit from them, and reinvest into new companies. So in the domain of batteries, for instance, Northvolt, we were one of the initial investors, early investors with Northvolt. When Northvolt was nothing more than a meeting in a coffee shop and some crazy idea that you can build a gigafactory in Europe. Again, 2016, that was when the idea was floated. It seemed ridiculous. But we can see how far the world has changed and how quickly we accepted that absolutely this makes sense. So within Inno Energy, we have created, as I said today, in 2017 we were asked to take charge of creating the European Battery Alliance. And today, the European Battery Alliance, EBA, is one of the 3 strategic value chains that we are responsible for. The second one is European Solar Initiative, that we also got a mandate for the European Commission in December last year. And it's a similar approach to European Battery Alliance. And we also have a hydrogen. So really the 3 elements of the transformation of the European industry is the energy storage, it's the renewables, the photovoltaic modules, to basically reshore manufacturing back to Europe, because at the moment 99% of all the PV modules are imported. And if we want to transition from fossil fuels, we need more PV, but we need to make industry out of it, rather than just simply something else. So today I see, again, we're starting today under the umbrella of the battery, but there is much more than just batteries, and those areas are very much connected. Because hydrogen, solar, and batteries are not in vacuum, separate from each other, but they complement the transition. Going forward, I see 3 areas. First is on the European Battery Alliance level, is collaboration, exchange of ideas, exchange of contacts, policy and regulation input also, so we share where the Europe is heading, and it's also the input from the European Battery Alliance to the Commission to make sure that we have a smart policy, because policy is absolutely critical for that type of business. The second area is the early stage innovation, and this is where the core business of our activities are. That we look for startups, companies that have technology that falls within the transition, the Green Deal. Very broadly speaking, because we invest in Hyperloop, we also invest in circular economy. So anything that is hardware-based, and anything that helps to transition Europe from where we were before, where we're going. So this is also a place where I see going forward possibility to help those startups gain traction and really catch the market. And the third element is on the skills. This is our Inno Energy Skills Institute, where we have a content at the moment, comprehensive content for the battery business. And this is not a content on research. This is content very practical, how to make sure that we have qualified workforce, that once you sign a job agreement tomorrow, all you need pretty much is a health and safety training, some introduction, and you're ready to go. Because that is, in my opinion, absolutely critical to make sure that we attract in Central Eastern Europe investments on one hand, and second, that we allow people who are from here, who have an idea about business, to allow them to tap into workforce so those companies can flourish. But definitely, and that's only batteries. As I said, we also have the solar revolution that will be heavily supported by the Commission, and making sure that we have a level playing field. Because today, I mean, there's a reason why we don't produce modules in Europe. They're cheaper elsewhere. But this is not how we will fight the carbon. So this definitely will be more to come.
Regarding the skills, I think that what is fascinating for us to see, which is not evident in every Central Eastern European countries, that now you have all these facilities, all these laboratories, which is, it's mind-blowing. And now when we are talking to industry in other countries, private companies who are either transitioning from ICE to EV production or specifically battery production, they need to scale up the workforce extremely quickly. We were just having a discussion with the gentleman from, still learning the name of the Automotive Association a few hours ago, and just discussing also that most of the Bulgarian companies as well, they are increasing their workforce capacity by 2024, next year, with thousands of engineers. And this is a problem everywhere. And what is very interesting for us, and we would definitely like to continue the discussion, is that when you have such research facilities and laboratories, those are incremental part of also teaching the current workforce, rescaling the workforce, for you potentially as part of your business of outsourcing if you can. So all these resources in a given country are extremely important, and we're so happy to see these developments, because without this, you cannot also reskill people with the speed that is necessary.
And what I would like to add, I'm super impressed with the approach of your administration. It's not often that you see the president and half the cabinet being aware and involved in creating an industry. And this is not an industry that we can just create, around the small table. This takes a lot, and it's a very strong signal. Also for investors, especially outside investors, that this government takes it very, very seriously. And I'm optimistic. And it's not seen everywhere.
No.
This is not
we have a strong support of the government in our activity here, even for our president. He opened our facility here. As Rector said, we support government in the development of the strategy of Bulgarian transition to green economy. More than 60% of the vision that was published on the beginning of this year was developed by people from our Center of Excellence, because we are mechatronics and clean technologies. That's why we are involved in this transition, and we have a strong support from the government side.
And this transition will be faster than we think. In EBA, we were always wrong. We always underestimated the pace of the investment and of the need, which always seemed to us that this is very ambitious targets, yet the industry shows that there is no stopping to it. So I think we are in a very right moment. Not an easy moment.
Yeah.
Because this transition will, and I talked about it today, will leave a lot of winners, but there will be some losers.
You said it this morning. It's very clear.
Yeah.
You are right. You are right. Opportunities means both sides.
Yeah, it's a threat or opportunity,
Yeah.
and it's up to us whether which side of the stick we are.
And also how we choose. We were talking about this with Bogdan as well, with our further colleagues from the Battery Alliance. There are so many subjects which a certain industry can choose from what to pursue. And sometimes it's better not to follow the common example, what everyone else around us is doing, but taking just a step ahead of the curve and jumping into something even newer, because the industry is so fast. And sometimes in Eastern Europe we're trying to catch up, but it's better to, instead of catching up, jumping one step ahead and doing something when you have such research capacities and abilities, doing something which is not that evident yet. Because that's the thing. 2017, there were a lot of projections on the Commission level, at Inno Energy, European Battery Alliance level. All those projections have been turned around already, and we went above the curve every single year. So it's very fascinating to see what we saw today, and thank you very much for having us.
Thank you. Thank you.
It's the first time for us to be here and to see this.
I was here on my previous, with my previous business card.
Yeah. Okay, but I do hope that it will not be the last time you are here. And if you have any ideas about the collaboration with the other countries, companies, etc., you are welcome.
I think it's important what Susie said, that when we say that every value chain, this is such a vast area of raw materials all the way to recycling. And it doesn't mean that every country has everything in it, because maybe not.
Yeah.
So there are elements. The case about storage using that asset, that shows that there might be a niche in energy storage.
We believe
that you can
this
build on
will
your
put Europe in the leading position.
Exactly.
Nobody not works so hard in the world. We know what's happening.
And maybe not for next 50 years, but maybe for another 20, that will be require transition, where we leapfrog to another technology that allows the storage on a scale. So it shows that there are areas, niches that each country should really build on.
And that's why we're also here, and now I'm really talking in the name of the Battery Alliance, to have these discussions, not just with us, but potentially other European stakeholders, that certain stakeholders, in this case, you in Bulgaria, thinking that this is the way to go, this is what you're researching currently, and having that discussion with also in other relevant industry partners, other side of Europe, where maybe we can help you to have those discussions, those high-level brainstormings, if you wish, to find those niche moments, because that's the thing. Since the establishment of the EBA, the idea was that this is an inclusive industrial network. So what we really want to do is to find the right matches with one another and then start working together for whatever reason with the Polish companies, with the Spanish companies, whoever, whatever, but finding those dots, which is going to be good for you and for the others, instead of just following the mainstream, but really doing what is good for you, strategically, feedstock, raw materials, financially, and good for the rest of Europe, because that's what practically the European Battery Alliance is about in the end of the day.
And it proved that it works, and for me it's a proof that the solar initiative will also work. Because European Battery Alliance was a prototype.
Yeah.
Experiment. It could have gone wrong.
It could have.
But so for the solar, it's easier. Just do what you did. Maybe improve, but basically do it faster. So maybe not 5 years, but 3. Who knows?
And this is maybe also something which we can recommend to you as a very practical example. If you look up who is our network, it's the easiest thing to do. We love using this example. If you open the European Battery Alliance's webpage, there is a part on the network. And then you see every single part of the value chain and all the member companies. Not just private companies, but also financial institutions, like investment agencies like Invest Bulgaria, any stakeholders, based on the value chain. And when you know that you would like to talk to someone who is in that network, you always have us to reach out to and get in touch with other companies as well all over Europe. So do think of us as the center of point of contact as well, because that's also our mission to help in this sense.
And you know, EBA is a non-profit in the sense that it doesn't charge any fees, because it's us. So EBA is us, and it's up to us what we put in and what we take out in terms of collaboration. So use it, because it's only that network is only as strong as the input and collaboration. Yeah. That was the idea from the beginning.
Okay, thank you. Thank you. It's a very good idea.
And now I think we have probably a time pressure, but that's we haven't solved yet. You know, that other initiative, how to stop time. That's maybe. This is something
or gravity.
Or gravity.
Stress
time.
Will help about the mobility.
It will solve a lot of problems.
Yeah.
Thank you for having us.
Okay. Thank you. Thank you.